And so yesterday we saw the same story over and over again when the Lakers play the Denver Nuggets. The Los Angeles Lakers were in the game, hard-fought game, looked like the Lakers had a chance to close it out, and then one team did what they needed to do to win the game. It's been the Lakers have lost the last 7 games against Denver, and if you look at all 7 of those games, I mean, it's exactly the exact same thing. Denver goes and gets a lead, they control the game start to finish, Lakers make their little push and feel like, okay, here we go, we're about to win it. And then Denver goes, nah, we're just better than you. And just ends up pulling away and getting the win. It happens every time. It is so frustrating. But the Lakers have a back-to-back. They lost to Denver, which is very unfortunate. Lakers are still 1 game over 500, 27 and 26. They are 2.5 games out of the 8th seed. 3.5 games out of the 7th seed, 4 games out of the 6th seed, and the 6th seed is the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, the Lakers play the Pelicans. I even said going into these 2 games that I wanted to beat Denver, but if I had to choose one of these to win, it would be the New Orleans Pelicans game. Just because we're not going to catch Denver. We're 10 games back of Denver, and Denver also has the tiebreaker. So you're talking at least 11 games back of Denver, just not catching them, right? Like, even if something catastrophic happens to Denver, you're probably still not catching them. Especially with our March schedule. That's insane. But the New Orleans Pelicans, I do believe it would be very tough to catch them. However, it's not impossible. It is something that I do think the Lakers can do. 4 games is a lot of games to make up. Don't get me wrong. But if the Lakers beat the Pelicans today, then now you're talking a full game. And so now you're only 3 games back. And if you can start rallying the troops and getting some wins here, all of a sudden you could be looking to surpass the Pelicans, get tiebreakers and all that stuff. So the Lakers have to get this win. In my opinion, this is a must-win game for the Lakers, right? You get this win, you're in reasonable shape going forward, and then you have a little break. You don't play again till the 13th, and that's against the Detroit Pistons. So now you could be 3 games over 500, and you got a back-to-back against the Jazz, which I think you could beat the Jazz. So there's 4 games over 500, and then you got another little break till the 22nd where you play the Warriors. And we'll see how that goes because you play the Warriors in Golden State and then following another back-to-back against the Spurs. The Lakers have a real shot here to really gain some traction in the standings. You're talking, if you beat the Pelicans, 4 out of their next 5 games are extremely winnable. Now, this Lakers team is incredibly inconsistent, right? They should beat teams like Detroit and the Spurs. And, and at the same time, it's like, no one would be shocked if they lost to those teams. Even the Jazz, right? The Jazz are capable of beating them. Jazz have looked pretty good. The Lakers should beat them, but we know how that looks, right? So the Lakers have a real opportunity here to beat the Pelicans and really make that push to end up getting into the standings and catching them. Because you beat the Pelicans, I mean, if you beat the Warriors, Lakers could be 7 games over 500 at the end of this month. And, I mean, again, it might be some wishful thinking here, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Also, the Lakers are getting D'Angelo Russell back. That'll be huge. I'm really curious to see how D'Lo looks, or it looks like D'Lo's coming back this game. He's probable, right? You still have Reddish out, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Max Christie. We'll see if he ends up being out or not. But if D'Lo comes back, that'll be huge because that gives you, a playmaker, a guy that's giving you, 20 a game, your best 3-point shooter on this roster. How does he look now that the trade stuff is gone? Right? That's a real question. Right? Because as soon as the trade stuff started happening, D'Lo turned into a different D'Lo and was spectacular. And it so much so it made the Lakers question, is it worth trading him and having to give up assets and picks to just go get a lateral move? If D'Lo continues to play the way he did the last, month and a half, and he plays like that throughout the entirety of this season, and then hopefully the postseason, then the Lakers made the right decision, right? They did. Whatever the end result of the season is, if D'Lo continues to play the way that he's been playing, right, then I believe that the Lakers made the right decision. Why sell the farm when you have to get a guy that's just maybe as good as D'Lo's playing right now? So that's going to be the real question. That's going to be the real test for D'Lo. Because there is also the possibility that, I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I mean, he's been a good player his whole career, but he's been great. Can he stay great? Can he stay a guy that's giving you, 20 to 30 on a nightly basis? And, he's going to have his bad games. Everyone has their bad games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every single game he has to go give you 20 or whatever. But even his bad games, he's still giving you some solid production. Even his bad games, he's giving you like nearly triple doubles and stuff like that, right? Like that's what we need from D'Lo. Where if you have a bad game, it's still pretty good, right? But if you have a great game, it's like, okay, yeah, like we're probably winning those. And again, you have a real stretch here that you could rattle off some of these wins. Denver was the last team that they played that you look at and go, all right, like Lakers aren't beating that team. Right? The Pelicans, Lakers can beat them. They've beaten them before. They've beaten them several times. They've beaten them every time it matters. Well, guess what? This time it matters. And it matters badly. Because if you can get that full game over the Pelicans, now you're in good shape. Right? And it's even just, obviously we want to get into the 6th seed. Because you get in the 6th seed, then you don't got to be a play-in team. And look, if the Lakers play the Thunder, if the Thunder stay as the 3 seed, the Lakers will beat the Thunder in a playoff series. I'm confident in saying that. So if the Thunder can stay as the 3 seed, if we can get into that 6 seed, I believe the Lakers at least make it out of the first round. And then you take it from there and you hope for the best. But the issue is the Lakers right now, they're still 2.5 games out of the 7th, or it's from the 8th seed, and 3.5 games out of the 7th seed. So that is tough because if the Lakers finish in 9th or 10th, I don't know if the Lakers make the playoffs. Seriously, because again, I just don't trust this team to put it together. Should the Lakers beat the Jazz in an in-season tournament game? Yeah, they should. Should the Lakers beat the Kings or the Mavericks in a 1-game in-season tournament game? Yeah, they should. But will they? Probably not. Not twice. It's just because, again, the Lakers have just been consistently inconsistent. So we need to start making that push. We need to start making that charge. Look, the Lakers are talented. They have talent on this roster. They have talent on this team. Right? Hopefully you can get like a Spencer Dinwiddie or something like that in the buyout. That would just give you like a starting level player that could come in. Personally, I'd slot him at the 2. If you got Dinwiddie, go with D'Lo, Dinwiddie. The problem is we're thin at the 3 spot right now. But whoever, right? You keep Rui there, LeBron, AD, and then move Reeves to the bench. He gives you the same production regardless. And I just think he might give you more production off the bench, kind of bolster the bench. And for Reeves, it's more of like the minutes he plays rather than the actual starting or benching. So if you can give, as long as he gets the minutes, I think he'll give you some level of production. But you got to start here. You got to beat the Pelicans. We cannot afford to lay a goose egg and drop the ball against this Pelicans team. I mean, this team is hot right now. They're on a 4-game win streak. They've been climbing. They've been looking good. They've been playing good basketball. And they will beat us if we let them. If we don't play Laker-branded basketball, I understand we're on a back-to-back and we have like 3 more coming up or whatever this month. I don't know what the schedule was. Like, I understand it's one thing to have the most back-to-backs this season of any team, which the Lakers have. It's another thing to have an entire like month stretch where all of your games are back-to-backs. That to me is pretty crazy. Right? It's one thing to have several like scattered and sprinkled throughout, but literally, I mean, you're talking they're on a back-to-back tonight, then they have Detroit and the Jazz on a back-to-back, then they have the Warriors and the Spurs on a back-to-back, and then they have the Clippers and the Wizards on a back-to-back. The only non-back-to-back game that they have the rest of the way is the Phoenix Suns after the Spurs game. They play the Spurs on the 23rd, then they play the Suns on the 25th, and then they got 3 days off, and it's another back-to-back against the Clippers and the Suns. But you look at this Lakers stretch to end the season, if you beat the Pelicans, you got the Pistons, the Jazz, there's 3 wins, in my opinion. Warriors in Golden State, they've been playing much better basketball, but I think the Lakers' size, they should get the win. That could be 4 wins. Spurs, there's 5 wins. Now you're 6 games over 500 going into that Phoenix Suns game, right? You're at Phoenix. Lakers have the tiebreaker, have won 3 out of 4 times against Phoenix. So is it possible they beat them again? Sure. So now you could be 7 games over 500 going into that Clippers game. You've beaten the Clippers twice. Could you beat them again? I mean, there could be 8, and the Wizards, there could be 9. You could literally get back into the standings with this stretch. But let's say you lose to the Suns and the Clippers. You're still 7 games over 500 if you win the other ones. If you beat the Pelicans, beat the Pistons, beat the Jazz, beat the Warriors, beat the Spurs, beat the Wizards, right? You're 6 to 7 games over 500 going into March, which March is just brutal. But look, got to get the win. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you got the team that you got. There's no games. There's no nothing. I mean, you got to just lock down, buckle down, and go get these wins. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Think the Lakers get the win? Do you think they don't? Do you think, like, all hope is lost? Do you not? Look, I'm going to stay optimistic. I'm going to believe in this team. Again, get this team into the playoffs. The only team I don't believe that the Lakers can, I mean, I don't want to say don't believe that they can beat, but I just think is unlikely is Denver. Every other team in the Western Conference and even the Eastern Conference, I do believe the Lakers can beat in a 7-game series. I wholeheartedly, like without a doubt, believe that they can. Denver's the only team that they just have the Lakers number, right? They know how to beat the Lakers. Jamal Murray plays like he's Michael Jordan every time. So Denver's the only team. But you never know. Maybe a team ends up beating Denver and we end up not having to face them. And next thing you know, we look up and we're in the finals. Nobody thought we were going to be in the conference finals last year. All right. So don't be shocked if we're in and now that players know, okay, I'm not getting traded. I don't have to worry. Like, I'm here. You take the pressure off, you take the weight off, and you can turn things around. But anyway, again, let me know however you feel down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.